Hello, Nasdaq followers. My name is Liz Glesko, and joining me on this Nasdaq Spotlight is two-time Olympic gold medal winner with two FIFA World Championships and the fourth most goals ever scored in international women's play, the soccer legend Carli Lloyd. Carli, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, it's great to be here and great to chat.
We mentioned just a few of your accomplishments as a soccer champion on the field. What's inspired you to now focus further on being a champion of women's health?
Well, I think for me, not by choice. I mean, I think I just took advantage of kind of being in the sport and just having, doctors and healthcare and things that were just very easily accessible and whatever, myself or my teammates needed, we were able to get that sort of treatment, that first class treatment. So now, as I'm out of the sport, I'm sort of a normal human being, a normal woman, and I think that I realized that it's not so easy. Being an athlete and getting into the healthcare space is very easy for us. But when you're just kind of a normal, average human being, it's very challenging, and there's a lot of questions that are asked, and just a lot of information that can be overwhelming. So I think that was a perfect way for me to kind of segue into this and do as much as I can to just further women's healthcare.
As you mentioned, accessibility plays a key role to women's health. So, what are some of the other challenges you've discovered around women's health, and how do you personally overcome them?
Well, I think it's been a heavy climate for women's health and healthcare in general. Women face so many different issues, whether that's access to care, cost, whether it's gender bias, inequality. I mean, the list can kind of go on and on. But I think the biggest thing is just kind of empowering women to make informed decisions. And in order to do that, we need to strengthen the foundation in the women's healthcare system. And just women having the confidence to ask questions, to question the treatment or the care that they're getting. I know that that's always kind of difficult, um, but I think it's really important. So we've got to create equal access to care, informing, educating women on how to make the best decisions for their personal health, and that is the most important thing.
At Nasdaq, we are the home to biotech, including Nasdaq listed Agile Therapeutics, who you recently partnered with. So, can you talk to us a little bit about what companies like Agile Therapeutics do well when it comes to advancing and supporting women's health?
Well, I think Agile Therapeutics is a company that focuses on women's healthcare exclusively, and that's why I was so interested in supporting this in this company, because we need more women to represent in the biotech space, and it's just really important to kind of support organizations like that. And men and women, this is just a very obvious thing that they differ in healthcare needs. And there's some diseases that women face that men don't. And so it's just really, really important that we advocate for every single woman to just be treated based on their own specific personal needs. I think so often, you can't fit two people into a box and think that they have the two of the same issues. Everybody's bodies are different. Everybody's bodies respond differently to different things. So for me, that was one of the biggest things is we as women, myself, can just continue to advocate for the best care possible.
At Nasdaq, we understand financial wellness also plays a part in women's health. As you mentioned earlier, the U.S. women's soccer team just recently won the equal pay deal, which has been a long time in the making and so exciting to see. Can you walk us through how you felt when you finally heard the announcement and what your advice is for women out there fighting for pay equity?
It was an amazing, amazing thing. I mean, it was 6 years in the making. It was really hard. Nobody wants to be fighting with their employee, and we were still having to perform, still having to play, still having to be in front of fans and play the sport we loved. So, we stayed strong as a group. And, this isn't just for, the current players right now. This is for generations to come. And there's been so many amazing women globally, in every category, whether that's sports or companies, politics, who have been paving the way year after year, generation after generation. So for us, this was just another stepping stone to continue to push on and make things better. They're not fully always better, but we continue to make strides, and it was just great all around.
What are key lessons you've learned as a female Olympic gold medalist that can apply to the younger generation of listeners?
I think a few of the bigger lessons that I've learned as a kid, as somebody growing up and trying to figure out who you are, what you're about, how you navigate through challenging times as a youth. I would say, you can't worry about what people think. I remember back to sort of my elementary and middle school days and even high school days. I just consumed myself so much with, wondering if, the boys and girls are going to like me because I'm too athletic and I'm sweating in gym class. And, I just kind of went about that, just worrying about what people think too much. And now when you get into your 30s and then, into your 40s, you know who you are, and you're shaped by your beliefs and what you stand for. And, I don't worry about anything anybody says. So I think that's a really big, important thing. And second thing I would say is have the confidence and conviction to really stand for what you believe in, and, never waver from that. Be the best version of yourself, be true to yourself. That has not steered me wrong. You're not always going to please everybody, and that's okay, because everybody has differing opinions, and, they gravitate towards differing people. So I would say that. And then, maybe a third thing I would say is nothing is ever going to be handed to you in life. You may think that it will be, but there's no greater reward than working as hard as you possibly can, day in and day out, whether that's towards a goal or whether that's just to be the best version of yourself. But in the end, you'll appreciate things a lot more knowing that you worked for it. It was a hard journey. There was some roadblocks and challenges and, and obstacles along the way, but you persevered through it all, and you were able to come out on top. So those three things I would say are kind of some key lessons that I learned. And definitely if I had those in my youth days, I may have been, even a little bit more stronger, but it's all worked out.
All right, Carli, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it was a pleasure. Great chatting.
I'm Liz Glasgow, and for now, we are signing off.